The 2025 UCL final is not officially over. There's still 10 or so minutes left in this game, but it's technically over. PSG are 4-0. Bradley Barcola, as I'm recording this right now, almost scored a banger. This game is a joke, bro. What a joke of a game. PSG put on a clinic today, and Inter really embarrassed themselves in the biggest stage in club football. What a pathetic performance from Inter today. That is, I feel bad for their fans, man. Making that trip all the way to Munich, and they have to see that? Embarrassing. Honestly embarrassing. I mean, 4-0 in a UCL final. Really? It's crazy, bro. It's actually crazy. But yeah, man, PSG are the rightful winners of this UCL. You guys know I'm not a huge fan of PSG. I picked against them throughout the whole tournament. But they are the rightful winners of this tournament. Post-December, they've been arguably the best team in Europe. And the only reason why I say arguably is because I still believe in my heart, and I could be biased here, I still believe Barca were the best team in Europe the whole year. But you know what? Barca didn't make it to Munich. They didn't make it to Munich, and PSG did, and they took care of business. Oh my God, did they take care of business today. That was, I mean, I could have made this video after Hakimi's first goal. I could have honestly made this video after Hakimi's first goal. There was no way Inter were ever going to win that game. From kickoff, you could see it. By the way, what was that kickoff from PSG? That was probably the most entertaining part of this whole game. The kickoff from PSG, it was like a rugby, NFL-style kickoff. It was so weird. I've never seen anything like that. But anyway, man, yeah, this game, after that Hakimi goal, it's just, I mean, Inter tried a couple times, but what was their clearest chance of the game? I mean, Thuram had a header, I'm pretty sure, in the first half. That was their clearest chance of the game. PSG just completely dominated them today. They completely dominated them. And for Inter, bro, after coming off that thrilling win over Barcelona, you know, it looks like you're gonna be out in the semifinals, and then Acerbi scores like one, and Frattesi scores like one extra time. You would think they would carry that momentum onto this game, but no, it didn't happen at all. And for a team that, you know, could have won the Serie A but lost it on the final day, and could have won the UCL but got spanked today in this final, this season that was looking so promising for them is kind of looking like a season from hell. And not to make this about Barca, because I know people are going to get irritated with me with what I'm about to say, but I have to just say this one thing. For everybody that was so happy that Barca got eliminated, everybody that was like, oh my God, Barca, yeah, they're out, they're not going to win the UCL. I promise you, Barca would have made this game a lot more entertaining. I don't know if Barca would have won, but they would have made this game a lot more entertaining, because this game was shit. And when was the last time we had a really, really good UCL final? When was the last time? Honestly. Last year's final was good, not great. Everybody knew Madrid was going to win that game. Everybody knew Madrid was going to win that game. Dortmund had a good first half, but Madrid were always going to win that game. They were the much better team. 2023, Inter against Man City. It was not a bad game, but it also wasn't great. It ended 1-0. 2022, in Paris between Madrid and Liverpool. Again, not a terrible game, but not some thriller. 2021, Chelsea and Man City was fucking terrible. 2020, Bayern Munich PSG was not a good final at all. 2019, Spurs Liverpool might be the worst game I've ever seen in my life. Another goal, by the way. Yeah, here we go. Who the fuck? I don't even know who this is. Somebody, number 24. I don't know who that is. Just scored a goal. It's 5-0 in a UCL final. It is 5-0 in a UCL final. I didn't even watch the goal, but who gives a fuck? As I was saying, 2019 might be the worst final I've ever seen. 2018 in Kiev, 3-1 Madrid Liverpool. Mohamed Salah went off so early in that game, and also like it made it less entertaining. 2017 Juventus Madrid 4-1. I mean, that's honestly the last. Those might be the two worst performances I've ever seen in a final from a team. Juventus in 2017 and Inter today, and two Italian teams. This is the biggest spanking I've seen in the UCL final since 2017. 2016, penalties. It was actually a good final in my opinion. It wasn't. I mean, my point is we haven't had a good UCL final, an entertaining UCL final in so long. It seems like it's always a 1-0 game or a mismatch like it is today. I mean, what the fuck am I watching, bro? 5-0, man? 5-0. Just pathetic, bro. But yeah, this is supposed to be the premier game in club football. Like, players dream of playing in a UCL final. They dream of playing at the stage, bro. And to see this, I mean, I thought I was rooting for Inter, but I knew PSG were the better team. I did not think they were this much better, man. I did not think they were this much better. But, I mean, congrats to PSG. Like I said, people know that I'm not a big fan of them, but they played a beautiful game today. Vitinha, what a performance he put forth. Desiree Doué, for a 19-year-old to be doing that, one of the best and most talented players. Fuck youngsters, one of the best and most talented players in world football currently. João Neves continues to impress. Marquinhos had a great game. Donnarumma. I mean, the backline didn't really have to do much. Hakimi scored a goal. Nuno Mendes. I mean, this team is so well built. They have so many players who just play for the badge and know their role exactly. Mayulu is this guy's name. I never heard of him, by the way. Maybe I'm a casual. I never heard of Mayulu before. I don't watch PSG that much, so I never heard of this guy. That's the guy that scored. They showed it over there. But anyway, they're still pressing, bro. The game is done and they're still pressing. And for Lucho, who I'm seeing on the screen right now, a guy who I'm a huge fan of Lucho because obviously he's a Barca legend, won a treble for Barca back in 2015 in Germany, in Berlin, not in Munich, but won a treble for Barca 10 years ago. And to see him, man, he's been through so much. And we know Lucho's story, what happened, unfortunately, with the passing of his daughter. And to see this from him, I'm super happy for Lucho, bro. There's one person that I'm happy for on that PSG squad is Lucho. And honestly, man, I gotta be completely just candid here. I'm actually kind of happy for Ousmane Dembélé. Ousmane Dembélé, well, I hate the way that he left Barca. He took on so much abuse while he was at Barca from the fans because he wasn't good enough. And towards his later days at Barca, he actually picked it up under Xavi. I actually thought he was one of the best wingers on the planet, and his stats back that up. And I thought that season when he left, in that summer, right before he, like in that summer going into the season when he left, I thought he was going to be a huge piece to this team, and obviously he ended up leaving, so we couldn't see what he could become. But to see him and to see what he's doing now, man, again, I'm not really happy for him, but it's cool to see, man, because he's been through a lot in his career, a lot of ups and downs. When he was at Dortmund, everybody thought he was going to be the next wonder kid, and then to see the way that his career kind of went, it wasn't as promising as we all thought it was going to be, and then he kind of picked it back up, and now to see him be a UCL winner and potentially win the Ballon d'Or before killing Mbappe. That's another angle to this, by the way. PSG, they had Messi, they had Neymar, they had Zlatan, they had Mbappe, they had Cavani, they had Di Maria, they had Pastore, they had Thiago Silva, they had David Luiz, they had Unai Emery, they had Pochettino. They had all these coaches, man. They had all these coaches, revolving door of players and coaches, always trying to win the UCL. And they couldn't do it. And now they finally did it. And by the way, it's without Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe goes to Madrid to finally win the UCL, and he doesn't do it. And PSG, without Mbappe, win the UCL. Isn't it crazy how football sometimes plays out, bro? It's crazy how sometimes football, like how things work in football. It's actually absurd. I remember watching the draw of the league phase. And when they were showing PSG's opponents, I forget the president's name, but the guy who's the president of PSG, I remember his expression when he was looking at the draw and the teams that they were going to play in the league phase. And he was like, what the fuck is this? Like, he was like, oh, we're fucked. And they actually kind of were fucked in the league phase. They were not a good team in the league phase. They finished, I think, 15th or 16th. They had to go through the playoff to get to the round of 16. And then they just ran roughshod over everybody. Knocked off Liverpool, knocked off Brest, first of all, 7-0 in aggregate in the playoff. Knocked off Liverpool, one of the favorites and one of the best teams in Europe at the time, on penalties at Anfield. Then in the quarterfinals, they knocked off, who was it? Aston Villa, a really, really good Aston Villa team. Then they knock off Arsenal in the semifinals. And now today, they beat Inter 5-0 in a UCL final. 5-0 in a UCL final. Congrats to PSG. Congrats to their players, man. Again, I don't like them as a team at all, but they deserve this one. And they're UCL winners for the first time in history. This is the trophy that they always wanted, but this is a trophy that eluded them for so long. They signed Messi to win this trophy. They signed Neymar to win this trophy. They brought Mbappe in from Monaco to win this trophy. And they got it done with a bunch of youngsters and Ousmane Dembélé, you know, and Pacho. It's crazy, bro. It's really insane that I'm watching PSG about to lift the UCL. For Inter, this is a sad moment for them because this squad is so much older and Inzaghi looks like he's going to go to Saudi Arabia because they're offering him so much money. What's next for this Inter team? I don't know. I really thought they were going to play better after that game, after those 2 legs they had against Barca. But I don't know what's next for Inter, man. I really don't know what's next for Inter. Their players say just didn't show up. Di Marco had a stinker. Their whole back line was shit. Their attack. What did Lautaro do in this game? Lautaro Martinez, you're a World Cup winner. This is what you do in this game? This is what you do? You're a World Cup winner, bro. I don't know, man. Just a crazy, crazy moment today to see PSG lift the UCL in Munich. I'll never get over the fact that Barca wasn't in this game. I'll never get over the fact that Barca was not in this game. It's going to haunt me forever, man. Today was UCL final day. Usually it's one of my favorite days of the year, even though Barca haven't participated in it in the past decade. But usually it's my favorite day, one of my favorite days of the year. I love watching football, bro. I love watching the best of the best. I couldn't even get excited about this game because I just felt that Barca should have been here. And again, they weren't. I'm not trying to make this whole thing about Barca, but I am a Barca fan, bro. You know, you can't blame me. Don't get mad at me because I really... Whatever, man. That's besides the point. But yeah, congrats to PSG. What else do I want to talk about in this game? I talked about Desiree Doué. I talked about the goal from Hakimi. Just such a well-worked goal, bro. Vitinha was so good today. That's... When I think about the most dominant performances in a UCL final, there's 2 that come to mind instantly, and they're by 2 of the best teams of all time. 2017, I already talked about this game, but 2017 Madrid versus Juventus in Cardiff. That Juventus team had run roughshod, had been so dominant in the whole UCL. Their defense was impenetrable. And Madrid tore them apart. They tore them a new asshole on that day in Cardiff. That's one of the most dominant performances I've ever seen in a UCL final. And then also, Barca versus Man United, 3-1 in Wembley Stadium in 2011. Again, one of the best teams of all time. That Man United team was really, really good. Had made a UCL final 2 years before, and of course lost to Barca in that final too. And I'm looking at Luis Enrique shirtless. What the fuck? Bro's actually kind of ripped for his age. I mean, this guy's kind of ripped. He looks like a rock star, but he's got the tattoos and shit. Happy for Lucho, man. But anyway, this is up there now with them. This is actually probably more dominant than those other ones. Because from kickoff, Inter never looked close. They couldn't get out of their own half for parts of this game. Not even for parts. For most of the first half, they couldn't get out of the first half of their own half. Kvaratskhelia scored a... Oh my god, man. This is crazy. Like, look at this team, bro. Look how well constructed... Like, anybody in Europe could have signed Kawada. Anybody in Europe could have signed Kawada. And they got him. Anybody in Europe could have had Desiree do it. And they got him. Pacho was one of the... I mean, Pacho's such a stud, bro. Anybody could have had William Pacho. And they got him. I remember watching Vitinha, his first season at PSG when Messi was there. He was so shit, man. It seemed like he refused to pass Messi the ball. He was so bad. And to see this now, playing as... I mean, was he the second best midfielder on the planet this season behind Pedri? In my opinion, he was. To see what he's doing, bro, it's crazy, man. It's honestly insane. But yeah, I mean, the way that PSG, the counter they had for that third goal, the second goal from Desiree Doué, the back from Ousmane Dembélé, it was just a thing of beauty, bro. It was such beautiful football. I mean, this team... If it wasn't for that, I mean, I remember when they lost to Atletico Madrid in the league phase at the Parc des Princes, people were calling for Luis Enrique to get sacked. People were calling for Luis Enrique's job. They were calling for his job and the turnaround that this team had. They almost lost against City. If they lose against City in that game at the Parc des Princes, I'm pretty sure. Sorry, they would be getting eliminated from this competition. They wouldn't even have made it to that far into the competition, or they would have gotten knocked out or something like that. But yeah, I mean, it's done now. The 2024-2025 UCL season is over. A great UCL season in my opinion. So many great games. We had so many great ties. That Barca-Inter tie in the semifinal is probably the best tie in the history of football. Arsenal versus Real Madrid. I know Real Madrid fans probably don't like that tie, but to me, it was amazing to watch as well. Aston Villa versus PSG was great. Inter versus Bayern Munich was great. Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid was cinema too. It was a great, great tie. So many great ties in this UCL. So many great moments. It should have been Barca, bro. I'll never get over that shit. Oh, God, it should have been Barca. Oh my God, it should have been Barca. I use this stress ball sometimes. I have it. I just fucking squeeze it, and I'm not even joking. You guys might think I'm pulling this shit out of my ass. I'm not. Sometimes I'll sit here, I'll be working or something, and I'll think about that Barca loss in the UCL, and I just start squeezing this because I'll be like, I'll get so mad, bro, because it should have been Barca. Not in like a corny way, like I'm not seeing red, mad, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm gonna fucking, I just get like frustrated, so I'll squeeze this. But anyway, congrats to PSG. Not congrats to Inter, that was embarrassing from them. 2 years ago in Istanbul, against a Man City team that was on their way to win the treble, they played so much better than this. Oh, by the way, PSG just won the treble. PSG just completed it. Oh my God, that just slipped my mind. PSG just won the treble. And here's a fun fact for you. Here's a fun fact for all of you guys watching this out there. Inter Milan have lost... How many finals have they lost? They've lost 4 finals with this one in their history. They've lost 4 finals in their history. 1968, they lost to Celtic, a team that won the treble. 1972, they lost to Ajax, treble-winning Ajax with Johan Cruyff. 2023, they lost to Man City, treble-winning Man City, and today they lost to PSG. Inter Milan have only lost UCL finals to treble-winning teams. That is a true stat. You can look it up. If you made it this far into the video, that is a true stat. You can look it up. Inter Milan have only lost UCL finals to treble-winning teams. Celtic, Ajax, Man City, PSG. I mean, that's crazy. That is actually insane. But yeah, that's all she wrote. Farewell to the 2024-2025 season. I'll be dropping a tier list on European Giant seasons coming soon to this channel, so be on the lookout for that. I'm going to rank, the biggest teams in Europe and their season, how it went. That should be really, really fun. I cannot wait to film that video. We're also going to do a video on the Joan Garcia situation that was obviously, it's developing. Barca looks like they're going to have a new goalkeeper next season, which I'm so excited for. And yeah, man, I love every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for all the support. This channel has grown so much in the past couple days and weeks. I cannot thank you guys enough for all the love and support you guys give me. I truly am extremely humbled by it, and I never ever take it for granted. So thank you guys so much. We're so close to 20K, and I honestly cannot believe that. I felt like just yesterday I posted my first video, and some of you guys have been there since then, so I appreciate you guys so much. I love you, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.